Hello, hello, hello. Today we'll be going over the top 5 mistakes that cruiser players make. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be going into a match talking about the top 5 mistakes that players make, as well as going through like my thought process of going into a match. So it'll help you guys get a more of like a understanding of the thought processes and what mistakes that I normally see during a match. I think definitely one of the top mistakes that players make is not looking at who the enemy threats are or not understanding who the enemy threats are. And I'll explain that in a moment. So I'm taking out the Hawaii here, as you can see, into random battles on NA during around noon. So the server is a little bit, it can be a little bit, it can be ups and downs. All right, so as a Hawaii player, I have a heavy cruiser hull, right? So I know that I can take a little bit of punishment, but not a lot. So Yamamoto, Furman are definitely a threat. Schlieffen, definitely a threat for those secondaries. Colombo, you got to watch out for that sap. Yodo, you got to watch out for torps. Brisbane, you got that 12-kilometer radar. 78.5. Smolensk is farming. Vince's sap. And then Marceau, it could be farmable. Can farm me, and so can Barbiano. So where do I spawn? Okay, so I spawn on north, okay? So northern part of this map, all right? So I have an interesting build, so my concealment is 13.5, right? So this ship specializes in either doing really long range engagements or you're using islands. So it's either one or the other. And you can switch between that using the F key, right? So my goal is to support the Shima going up north. So my goal is to, as you can see here, to go around here, here, or set around here at first to try to support my team, right? And that's kind of my goal at the start. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, also something to know as a cruiser player, make sure you understand knowing when to use HE or AP. That's also a lot of mistakes I see a lot of players use. They'll use AP too much or not HE, but normally for lower caliber guns, like you say the Hawaii or other light cruisers, you want to spam HE a lot of the time and only using AP on completely broadside targets when they are closer, okay? But one of the top mistakes I see players make is not holding tab at the start and looking at the enemy team. Who are your threats in a match, right? Who are your threats? Who are you going to have the most problem with? And what ways you're going to be able to counter those set threats, right? And that's one of the most common mistakes that I see. One of the other most common mistakes I see is opening up too early, where you're not able to escape. If you open up too early to where you get spotted early, like say here, I could have taken a shot at him, but it's not really worth it because I don't want to get spotted early. I'm trying to be able to get into my position on spotted because if you're not, he could have gotten slapped by that Yamato there. You saw the Yamato until slightly too low. That could have been extremely painful for that mouse. So I went a little bit more wide to make sure I didn't get spotted. Also, I'm going to be popping Hydro. I am being radared, so I'm going to be turning out. So the moment you get radared and you have to assume there's a cruiser out here. Because if you saw the enemy spawn, there was a battleship that spawned middle. He's not gonna be spawning up north, but he will be spawning in middle as you saw. So I'm gonna start engaging the Yoda here, right? So my goal is to try to get a fire on him and try to get a fire, well, not to get a fire on me, right? So I'm going to be kiting off, using my speed to my advantage to push him off. As you can see, I got one fire on him. He got one on fire on me. Now, as you can see, I'm not DCPing yet. And the reason is I'm waiting until I know that I'm able to go dark or disengage without being set on permafire, right? So I'm dark. I can now DCP, knowing that I am no longer going to be in trouble from being set on fire, right? So once you know you're able to put out the fire without getting another, fire on you right away, then it's safe to DCP, right? Now, if you're on a double fire, then you can, use that DCP a little bit faster. But in that fight, there is knowing when to engage, knowing when to DCP and not DCP, and knowing when to use AP or HE is a good example there. So some people may have attempted to use AP on the Yodo at that distance in a Hawaii, but your main goal is to just use HE to try to set fires. Now, we know there are a total of 5 battleships in this match. There are no divs, so the spawns are going to be mirrored. So the Yamato is going to be moving up here for some point. We have the Yodo, we have the Brisbane, Barbiano smoking into the cap, as you can see with the smoke. And we have pretty much all the battleships south. We are missing one, The one that we are missing is currently the Schlieffen. So he's most likely up here or he's going to be down here. We don't know yet. We don't have information on that yet. But I'm going to be assuming that he's going to be up here. Those torpedoes are Brisbane torps from this, or Yoda torps from the speed. They're definitely not from the Schlieffen, because Schlieffen torps are extremely slow. So there's a Schlieffen there, okay? So in this position, now I have an advantage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself up to where I can farm behind this island without being spotted. So I'm going to set myself up a little bit more to the right, trying to keep my distance from this rock so I can shoot over it. And we're going to start farming the Schlieffen. Now, you see there are torpedoes, so I made sure to stay outside the torpedo range. Now we're able to go dark, and we're able to start farming the Yodo or the Yamato or whoever I want, really, at this point, right? Okay, so my team is assigned to push, so I need to push back in. I was trying to do a little bit of farming there, getting a little bit aggro. Sorry, a little bit passive. I need to push in with the Libertad, so I need to move back in. I probably should have kept on pushing, but I was worried about the Schlieffen pushing. So I wanted to play a little bit more passive as an example. Brisbane is currently going to go down soon. He has a Libertad in his face, so good kill on him. But I played a little bit more passive. I probably should have just pushed a little bit more, like along this line here. You see where my mouse is with the Shima. I should have just kept going down this lane. But I didn't want to take too much damage potentially from that Schlieffen, because the Schlieffen looked like he was going to keep pushing. So I was kind of worried about that. But now number 3 is not looking where shells are coming from. So as a cruiser player, you know there's going to be battleships trying to shoot you all the time, trying to do a massive amount of damage, right? So you always have to know where shells are coming from, who has the potential to shoot you, anyone that can kill you, anything like that, right? Those are some of the main things you should be looking out for. So I know that there's only like 3 targets that can shoot me right now, so I don't really have to worry about shots from cross map or anything. But as I push in, I do have to be more wary of targets like from the A section that are going to be going after me. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this match is going to be going. But so far, it's going pretty good on the C side. I should have been more aggro. Libertad's pushing down south. Schlieffen, Yamato, Yoda are all being pushed off the map. I do really want to keep pushing these guys, but they're so far off the map, I don't really think it's worth to push them yet. It's better to let them kind of push back in. Our Libertad is going to get in a position where he's going to start getting crossfire, which isn't too good. So, and as you can see, I'm holding my fire on the Yodo. I'm waiting to open up fire on him until he's a little bit closer to where my shell arcs are going to do better. I may have to just push wide to keep pressure on the Yamato, the Schlieffen, and the Yodo for my team. The Shima is, I thought originally he was going to come out here and spot the Yodo, but I don't think he is. So that's not going to be good. Normally you try to follow your destroyer around to be able to help him out. Yeah, I don't know how he just got spotted. I think the Shima spotted him, maybe. I'm just taking a guess. Probably the Shima spotted him for like a split second. I popped my Hydro to be able to tell where the torpedoes are coming at, but yeah, I'm going to start moving out here to try to put pressure on the Yodo. The issue is that now I'm in prime territory to get shot at by the battleships. And the Yodo is probably not going to want to open fire because he doesn't have to. He has his battleships there that can take care of me. So I will be having to start farming these battleship to put pressure on him. That's why I popped my Hydro, is to be able to start pushing into the Yodo, because he does have torps, and so does the Schlieffen. They're both really annoying to deal with, torpedoes wise. So yep, there's another set of torps. I have Hydro, so I'm good. I don't really have to turn or anything. I am currently watching to see if the battleships are trying to shoot me. The Yamato was, he stopped. Now the Schlieffen's starting to look at me. Now, as you can see, he did start aiming his guns left. So that means either he's about to launch his torpedoes, which he may have done, or he was just going to shoot his guns at me. Now, as you can see, I waited to turn until I saw where his shells were coming at. Since I saw the shells were a little bit short, I waited to turn until I was able to overturn his shot to make him miss. Now, we did destroy his turrets, but he will get them back in about 40 seconds, so we don't have to worry about that on the left side. And I'm just going to keep pushing down the lane, putting pressure on the Yamato and the Schlieffen and the Yodo. Now, sooner or later, the Yodo is going to open up. I don't know when, but I'm trying to be a little bit random with my movements, and I am watching the mini-map. I'm seeing where my team position is, right? So I see the Libertad pushing, so I'm pushing alongside the Libertad to be able to support the team. Because if I did not push alongside this Libertad, the Yodo would be able to get way better torp angles, right? Because the Yodo has to keep running away from me, because if I fight the Yodo, I'm going to be able to kill them. So right now, I'm just hard pushing the lane to be able to keep pressure up for my team. Now, those are the Schlieffen torps I was talking about earlier. I am going to eat one, and that's fine. Now, that did force me to DCP, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, I'm going to try to focus the Schlieffen. One thing you're trying to do is when you're running people down or trying to chase them, you have to try not to turn too much when you're chasing them, because you're trying to push them, right? You're trying to keep them in range and be able to keep them spotted, right? Now, with the Libertad dead, these guys may start turning back in, which I have to be wary of. All right, so I almost messed that turn up. Ooh, that was close. Okay, I almost messed it up, but it is going to make me eat the salvo instead. All right, so the Yodo is going to start opening up since he saw that I am DCP'd. Now, I am going to start turning out. I did just see the Schlieffen shoot, but I don't know when the Yamato shot. But I do need to turn out here, because I cannot keep pushing this. And I need to put pressure on the Yodo as I'm turning out. So, I am on a double fire. Yep, Yamato is shooting, which is not good for me. This is not the most ideal situation, but it's better for me to shoot now than it is to just get out of the situation, right? I need to get out of there. Because the Yodo wasn't going to let me go dark with my worse concealment than his. So, not the most ideal turn to do it in front of a Yamato, but I had to make it done. There was nothing I could have done there in that situation. Even if I would have stopped shooting, the Yamato would not have let me go dark. Sorry, the Yodo would not let me go in dark. He was going to keep me spotted during the rest of that fight, no matter what I did there. So, now that I'm dark, at this point, yeah, I definitely got my butt kicked. Not the most ideal situation that you want to be in. You only have 2 heals, right? So I'm not going to be engaging for a long time, and I'm going to put myself in a position to start trying to go back to B cap to try to be a little bit closer to the enemy, because these guys are off the map. They're pretty much useless at this point, so I'm not going to engage with them anymore. My goal is to try to sit around here, if you can see my mouse on the minimap, around here or a little bit closer to B, so when they push back into B, I'll be able to farm them, and that is my goal, right? That's my goal of this match, is defend B cap, help get B cap, and then that should help us win. Trying to get myself where I'm not spotted. But yes, I'm not able to outspot the Yodo. He has a spotting advantage, so I'm just going to rotate south and start healing up and using my concealment where I can sit behind a rock and just start farming the enemy when they get closer. I was considering also sitting like right here, like at the island there to farm, but that's a little bit dangerous, and I also want to get shots when they're pushing in like from the far side. So I'm going to be sitting out here and kind of waiting, because at this point they do have the point advantage, but we have the destroyer advantage, which is a massive advantage. And again, they don't have any radars left, so we now have complete advantage over spotting, so which is really good for us. Really, 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 really good. All right, so at this point, we're currently waiting. We're currently just waiting until, moving on. I don't really know what this guy's on about either, because I'm currently recording, and I'm not currently streaming, so I have no idea. Yeah, I'm currently recording. I'm not streaming, so I have no idea what this guy is talking about. I guess he can read my mind. Apparently so. Oh, so the GK is bad-mouthing us, apparently. Ah, okay. I was very confused. I was like, wait a minute, how can he hear my thoughts? I didn't even say nothing bad. Crazy. Okay. What to say, dude? But no, I'm gonna start opening up on the Vens to put pressure on him with the other Hawaii. I don't expect to hit too many shots on him at this distance, but I'm trying to push him back or keep him out of the engagement here. As you can see, their entire team is off the map in the back, right? We currently have wing condition. We have 2 caps. We are doing really good. We don't have to push. We're doing great at the moment. Now, another thing I see a lot of cruisers do is being overly aggro or pushing too far, right? That's another big mistake that I see people doing. Like in that instance, when I was pushing with the Hawaii, I was a little bit too aggressive there, trying to push them off. But I wanted to make sure that they were off the map. And if I died, yeah, it would have sunk, but they were off the map. Because essentially, if you look at their positioning, they're all off the map. They are essentially worthless to the team. They're not going to be anywhere near anytime soon. As you can see, he also DCP'd, so we're just going to keep using HE to try to get another fire, using like his smoke tree to figure out where he's going, right? So we see the Schlieffen. He's also starting to push in. As you can see, I'm using the island to farm behind, right? So... And again, people are like, oh, wait, why aren't you using your heal to get your heal up? Well, I want to min-max that heal to use all of it as possible, and it also makes it where I use my adrenaline rush more, right? So since that I have adrenaline rush, it makes it where the less health you have, the higher your DPM is, or more damage you'll be able to do. So I can just farm him. Oh, and there's the Yodo. But Yodo is wide, so I'm going to start focusing him. Now that I know the Yodo is wide, I'm going to go and engage him, keeping the island to use it as cover. But now that I know that he's out here, we need to kill him. Because I don't want him flanking my team. I don't want him launching torps. Because he's a Yodo and he has millions and millions of torps. So I'm going to turn around while still opening fire on him. I'm using my little dot there to tell like where I'm shooting at. So if you guys are wondering where I'm aiming, I'm using this little green dot on my mini-map to shoot him. Now, Slava, I need to dodge around. I'm going to pop my Hydro, and I'm going to start moving back into the Hawaii, so the Yodo. The Yodo does have the advantage of the situation. Again, he does have the better concealment than me. So I need to essentially keep myself to where he cannot go to C cap. He cannot go to C. If he goes to C, he will win. So I need to keep myself away from their team in the south to where they cannot help him. Right? If they are far enough away to where they are not able to assist the Yodo in this fight. Okay, so fight has started. Now, this is going to be a very close fight, okay? Very close. And as you've seen, I have not used the F key the entire time. The reason why is he's not close enough for me to really rectify using it. Also, you can use this. If you see the little thing at the bottom left like this, you can use that to know how to angle to a ship, right? And keep as many of your guns as possible, or keep your gun and go right. So that fight's done. I easily won that fight. I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult, but I guess I overestimated my opponent. But it's okay. All right, so I need to go bow into these sap rounds here, and I'm not going to shoot anymore. I'm going to go dark. So I don't need to farm anymore. I'm just going to go dark. All right, so see another set of sap rounds. Go bow into that. Slow down. Try to predict that the shells are going to be a little bit in front of me. Yep. And stay bowing for a moment. The Ven shell is going to do one more salvo, so turn toward him. Just be very slow. And we're good. Okay. All right, so we win in 40 seconds. And now you could be greedy and open up at this point, but again, this is a very close match. We do have 3 caps, so technically we could just open up on him if you really want to. But for the sake of the video, I don't think it's really worth opening up, right? So it isn't the best damage, 125k. I could have done a lot more, been a little bit more aggressive at the start. But overall, I think I showcased some of the mistakes that Cruiser Marines make and kind of like explained it to you guys the best way I could by just showing you guys a mash. I didn't do the best on the team. I got middle. It's mostly due to the fact that like most of their team was kiting that entire match. So I wasn't really able to do a lot of damage or sit and farm or kill any destroyers or anything like that. A lot of that match was just me trying to run them down, pushing them off the map so that my team was able to get the B and C cap, right? Because in the end of the day, your goal as a cruiser is to support your team, right? It's meant to support your destroyers, to keep the cruisers off your back of your battleships, and for to be able to farm out battleships. That's like the main goal of a cruiser, and also to help contest points depending upon if you have radar, your utility, and other stuff like that. So I just wanted to showcase a match while talking about the top mistakes that people make in cruisers, knowing when to turn out. I will definitely say that me turning out to a Yamato was definitely the biggest mistake I made there. I could have potentially tried to go dark there, like let the Yodo keep on running away, but the Yodo having a way better concealment, mine's 13.5, he could have just sat right there and gone dark and just kept me perma spotted, and I would not be able to go dark. And that's what I was worried about, because if he would have gotten a perma fire on me, I would have died. Also, this is the build that I run on this ship. It's really weird. Yeah, it's weird. I also don't run concealment on it. I run rudder, so yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I like playing the Hawaii in that way, so that's what I do. I know that it's not the best match, but I think it does a pretty good job explaining what mistakes players do, my positioning, what I'm trying to think about, what I'm doing. I think overall, it does a pretty good job of that, so if you guys enjoyed this type of video, let me know in the comments down below, because if you did, I can do this with other types of cruisers, other types of, I can do this with destroyers, battleships. Just let me know what you guys think, and yeah, we'll see how the video does, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces!